Well, hello there, friend. Welcome back now. So, I think we're long overdue for this conversation. I don't think I've ever done a video like this where I'm just bringing light. We need to bring light to some dark corners in the game. And what I mean by that is changes that need to be implemented in this game. And some of these, may be new to you. Some of these might not be new. But I think that we need to start making more noise about just things that need to be altered to make the game more enjoyable. And let's start with that premise right there. Now, I know, some players take the game, much more seriously than others through the amount of time they spend on it or the amount of money they spend on it. But the game's supposed to be for enjoyment. You play the game, or it's kind of like watching sports or a hobby that you have. You do these things to kind of escape the stresses of the world around you, and playing the game, the thing that brings you the enjoyment, it should relieve that stress. It should not add more stress. And especially after yesterday's video, just how I was legitimately, upset about it. And, we need to shed light on this stuff. We need to make some noise about it. So, our voices are heard, and hopefully we can get some result out of the whole thing. Oh boy, it's just your neighborhood sneaky bandit popping in here to do his thing. But he's playing a different part today. He's playing the part of defender in a way. Because thing is this, the conversation from yesterday, it needs to be carried on just a little bit further. I've had some slings and arrows shot at me, and I think rightfully so in a way, because I did something that isn't particularly part of my nature. I produced that video based on an emotional response that I got from something that was out of my control. And the thing that was out of my control, the probability of obtaining it is just so low, and I should have expected the results, right? But this is the thing. I think the conversation needs to be started and had on a different premise. We need to start at a different level, and we're going to get to that in just a moment here, because I need to illustrate my point a bit further just to really hit home with it. I'm going to read off a few comments here, because I've had a lot of good, and then there was some bad criticism, some slings and arrows, as I mentioned. But here we go. So Mr. Rexley says, maybe that's not a good thing. You got a brilliant. Makes you feel forced to stay. Laugh out loud. And we'll get to that in a moment. Think the absolute relationship is parallel on point. Since you have been given some leftovers, you feel better, but you're still in an abusive relationship. Yeah, I made an analogy to a relationship based on this game. Not judging you, I've been lying to myself for 5 years. Game is good, but too frustrating. I'm going to respond to all these comments with a little rant after I'm done reading them. So don't worry. All right, so here comes some slings and arrows shot at me. All right, so this guy says, never give up. Says, people be happy that they cleared stage 9 null, and these whales are whining because they can't do stage 40. And then he says, what the hell? I don't know anymore. And then Sidar says, exactly, the crafted cards and reforged CTPs absolutely destroyed any chance free-to-play low spenders to compete in this game. The well supported this trash, and now they're crying about it. They deserve this. And then never give up. He says agreed. And like I said, I'm gonna shed light on this, but in particular on that, yeah, it's just you're at stage 9 and I'm at stage 40, and the thing is, stage 40 can be completed, but you need a brilliant to do it. So if I want to progress and move forward, I need a brilliant. I need the thing that on double chance up, it's only 14%. But we're gonna get to the base. We're gonna get to the fundamental foundation of this issue. Trust me when I tell you. Next comment here is from Kamikaze Lyricist. He says, my goodness, look at you, boo-hooing like a spoiled rich kid up until he gets his way. Typical spoiled, privileged rich kid. SMFH. All right, so I have to say this one irritated me in particular, because I don't know how you can go ahead and make judgment and assumptions about somebody you obviously know nothing about, because truth be told, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the straight hood, and I went to an inner city school. Furthest thing from being privileged or rich or spoiled for more than half my life. And I had to climb and claw my way out of that situation. I've dealt with my demons. I've overcame obstacles. And that's why I am where I am today. So, yeah, I do not appreciate that one bit, you making assumptions about, just me, like I was born with a silver spoon. That couldn't be further from the truth. All right, next up here. Okay, so King Mojo says, bro, come on, bro, you're a grown man. This game is supposed to be just for fun, pastime, but nearly every YouTuber I watch at some point lost my respect. And then Sidar says, grown man acting like, so it's the same guy, because he didn't, grown man acting like a child because he didn't win a slot machine, LMAO. And you know what, some of this criticism, like I said, rightfully so in a way, but we're gonna get down to the foundation of it all. And I shouldn't have. I don't particularly like ultimatums, and I kind of set an ultimatum, based on emotion on this game, and it's difficult to just detach when you're so invested with time and money for so long, right? Well, I've been playing for about a year and a half, and when they throw something in the game like this, it's difficult to take a step back. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna get to all this in a little rant, and then okay, same guy. He just keeps commenting over and over again. I guess I didn't even realize it was the same person. Listen, when I go through these comments, I see them and I'm like, boom, 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 screenshot, and then there it goes. Maybe I should pay attention a little bit more. But in any case, he says, Wells Arlera, support greedy, scummy gambling systems over and over. Act surprised when greedy, scummy continue to get worse. Stop supporting it or never change, for the better. So should we boycott the system? Didn't we try that and failed? And yeah, here's the thing. I was a part of the boycott just like everybody else for the longest time. I didn't spend a penny for the longest time until it was when it seemed like so many other people were spending, and you had to start crafting cards in order to stay competitive, like in ABX. That's basically one of the only game modes that I really played extensively was ABX, and in order to keep up, you basically had to break the boycott. And everybody, so many other people, I don't want to say everybody was doing it, but there were a lot of other people that were doing it. So I kind of just went with the crowd. It seemed like it wasn't working, so why was I going to, miss out on uniforms or just making progress in the game for what? For what? It wasn't making any headway. They did nothing for us. They did absolutely nothing for us. Guys. All right, so here's the thing. I'll admit that it was rather childish and backed by an emotional response that I gave an ultimatum. I produced a video where I was giving an ultimatum based on a system that had a 14% chance of success. Yeah, I knew the probability of it all, and yeah, you could say it's my own fault, right? But I don't think it's fair to blame the system in place on me. It's not my fault that the system is in place. I didn't create it. I participated in the boycott like everybody else did. I didn't want these things to be in the game. I thought it was ridiculous and crazy, and I never thought that I would be using CTPs to make other CTPs. But the thing is this, newsflash, if you want to stay competitive in the game, you need to do these things. Like you need brilliance, unfortunately so. If you want to place high in ABX, if you want to clear stage 40 of null, and yeah, you can say, oh, I'm on stage 9, you're on stage, yeah, that's because I've invested the amount of time, the amount of money to have my account where it's at, so I could progress through these things. But the fact that a brilliant is needed, and not just that the brilliant's needed, but the chances of getting one is so low, it's just egregious, and it's a blatant RNG money grab. It's disgusting. And thing is this, I calculated how many CTPs I used. I used 189 CTPs, and I have 2 brilliants. So you know what? You do the math on how much that costs, because it's real money resources. And so, I feel like I have the right, just rightfully so, to be a little ticked off and kind of feeling some type of way. You feel me? So, and you could say it's my own fault. Sure, I'll take accountability for that. But the way that I am is, it's like it's all or nothing. It's like, go big or go home. That's just the way I've always been about life. And to be honest, I wouldn't play the game. I wouldn't play the game as how take it however you want to take it. It's just people are built differently, and if I can afford to do a certain thing to, I don't know, enjoy the game a little bit better, and why that brings me enjoyment and whatever, that's my own personal gripe. And you know what? I don't know if you don't spend, because I'm guessing you really don't, right? If you're blaming the people that do spend money on the game, the people that support the game for the systems that they had no hand in creating. I can guarantee you that there's not one player that gave this idea to the devs and said, here, put this in the game because, this is something I want. No. Who in the right mind would want something like that? And because this is in the game, and because you need this to stay competitive, and because of just the egregiousness of it, is why I'm definitely taking a step back from spending. I mean, I don't know, you can call it a boycott, call it a Godzilla-nator boycott, I don't know, call it what you will. But it's just, it's made me look at this issue on a more just fundamental level and at a different angle. And I can't, because thing is this, I would just knowing myself, I would continue to, in order to play the game at the level that I want to play at, I would want to continue to roll for brilliance, because you need them. I didn't do it. They did it. The devs did it. It's not my fault. So you can't blame that on me. I don't think that's right, and it's definitely not fair. So I am going to be taking a step back from spending. I'm not going to really be playing ABX. I do enjoy World Boss Legend, so I'll probably still be playing that, but I'm not really going to be playing ABX, not really competitively. I'm just going to be submitting the score, probably over 7 million, just to get all the rewards, right? And we're going to get to more on that in just a moment. So I'll be taking a step back, and I'll just be playing more casually. I'm not going to stop playing the game altogether. I won't do that. It's hard to sever the link. But and you know what? You could say all this is my fault. You can, because it is. Because it is. I'll admit it. I won't be one to cast diversion and sit here and try to pretend it's something else, because it's not. I invoke this on myself. And could be, like I said, I knew what the probability and the terms of it all were. But thing is this, the probability and the terms, they shouldn't be that. They just flat out should not be what they are. And when I hear of players who invest maybe just a fraction of what I've invested and walk away with more, it's a little upsetting, and it just doesn't seem right, because it's not right. And it needs to be fixed. If you spend or invest, you expect to be rightfully compensated for that. And when you're not, it's a huge slap in the face. It's a huge slap in the face. So you can call it whiny, you can call it whatever you want, but the facts are the facts. And I feel some type of way about it. I feel jaded, and my response to this is, I'm not gonna do it anymore, because it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous and egregious system, and I'm just not gonna participate in it anymore. And speaking of which, so I'm gonna be looking into other games to possibly play. This is basically the only. I played one other mobile game before this years ago, but I wouldn't even count that. And so I'll be looking into other games, maybe a mobile game, maybe a different game. I don't know yet, but I'll be looking into something. And so you know what? I'm sure I'm not the first person to point this out, but let me pull this up here. So your sneaky bandit, he just created a Twitter account not too long ago. I haven't even told anybody about it. I still got to get my bearings straight with Twitter and get some kind of routine where I'm posting stuff regularly and all that. But I follow Danny Koo, and I noticed that he's been posting a lot of stuff about Marvel Future Revolution, and I don't know if you guys saw this trailer or not, but the game looks pretty cool. And here, let me play it. I still have to check and see when the release date is. It can't be that far out. It's like every week or so he's announcing a new. He's posting about a new character that's actually going to be, added to the game. I think they have like 9 now, 8 or 9 at least. They just, the rebellious Star-Lord is coming, so that might make 9. But it's got some voiceover with, Iron Stark. Unlike a Marvel Future Fight, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it would totally be a step up from Marvel Future Fight. It's got the whole it's got the open world aspect. They say it's an RPG game. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to check it out. Once we get there. But my point is that I'll be looking into other games. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna completely stop playing Marvel Future Fight. I'm still gonna play. I'll still be your commander in chief over here and bringing you content. So don't worry about that. But that is the Sneaky Bandits rant. That's it. So he's going to say farewell and enjoy the rest of your broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Man, did the Sneaky Bandit just steal my video? That dastardly dog, him. All right. So let's jump into this. So I have a list. I had a little help with this. So shout out to you folks out there who helped me create this list. You know who you are. So first off, the hot topic of the day, right? The situation with reforging CTPs, and just how egregious that system actually is. So there needs to be some changes to that 100%. And I've gotten some suggestions from some people. Actually, I'm gonna pull up a comment. Because there were a few people that made some really good suggestions on this. All right, so AV says, I'm free to play, but I have an idea for CTP reforge system. If you reforge a CTP and double chance up, the chance should be increased to 25%, and they should add a meter on the reforged CTP if you reforge that first time with all the slots filled. CTP plus all the other CTPs, and the 25%. Filled to the meter. Then if you fail and you try to reforge the same failed CTP the second time with all the slots filled, now it goes up to 50%. If you fail again, then it goes up to 75%. And if you fail the next time, then you're guaranteed to get a brilliant CTP. This should be a win-win system. There is RNG, and there's also a guaranteed as well. I totally agree. That there should 100% be some kind of guaranteed fix in place, because you do these things to what end? To what end do you do these things? Crafting cards, rolling cards, just rolling a regular CTP with obelisk. To what end in sight? So yeah, pity timers. I mentioned this in the last one, but pity timers basically on everything. And for going for like a brilliant. Another suggestion was have it so where it's like advancing a character from like 60 to 70, right? So here, let me find a character that's here, this guy right here. So if we enhance his potential, like you could go for like 10%, right? Say you went for 10% or 20%. The next time you still have half of that to go for the next one. So what he mentioned was kind of something like that. But I feel like even something like you could just put all you can on one shot, you could have 100% chance to actually get it just by adding more CTPs. Maybe the max is 10 CTPs, right? So 5 would, maybe each CTP gives you 10%, and you have 10 CTPs, which I think is more is not even too friendly to the player. 10 CTPs for 1 brilliant, like, that's still pretty insane. But for what the system is now, that would be an absolute blessing, because to what end in sight? I think the sneaky bandit mentioned he used 189 CTPs in total and have 2 brilliants. Now, if we had a system where it was every 10, what, you have 18 brilliants, right, essentially? So yeah, something like that needs to be put in place. And then pities on absolutely everything in the game. Rolling CTPs, crafting cards, right? Even card craft. Like, if you use, say you craft your card so many times, I don't know, 5 times, you should then be able to lock, I don't know, the star or the stat. And then the same thing with just rolling a card in general. Now maybe that has to be more times. Maybe, I don't know, 50 cards. Maybe you roll the same card, like, it has a timer on it. You roll that same card 50 times, you should be able to lock something or just, like, increase the quality of it. Like, say you roll it 50 times, then the quality of the card can't drop below 2, or maybe you lock the stat, or maybe you can eliminate a stat on that card from showing up. You get what I'm saying? Don't make it too easy, right? Because cards are, it's like, having, it's more of an end game thing. So I get that, it shouldn't be easy to actually obtain, but there's got to be some end in sight, because what are you going for? It's just like, it's just like the carrot and the donkey, and you're just being trotted around forever and ever with just no end in sight, and it's ridiculous. And you know what? I feel like, we all have a right to be upset about it, and there just needs to be something done about it, 100%. All right, let's try to breeze through the rest of these here. Okay, this is an easy one, and we're way long overdue for this. More daily and weekly crystals. I mean, is that too much to ask for? Like, I don't particularly need them, but for the players, the free-to-plays and low spenders, we're long overdue for that. And the gap should not be as great as it is between, the free-to-plays and the whales. Since they added crafted cards and all that, the gap just increased, and it's really not right. And they need to, okay, and this kind of ties into a different thing they need to change for cards. Okay, so I feel like for every card that is crafted, you should get like a premium card, a random premium card to actually roll that card. So this way, you can farm. So free to plays, you can farm up cards. I know they're not that easy to farm, but say, so you need 35 cards to fully craft a card, right? So every 35 cards that you obtain, essentially you can get another premium card, because there needs to be more ways to actually get premium cards. Because I know, like, when I was rolling my set and how many premium cards I was going through, I felt like I was nearing the end of my premium cards, and how much I spend to actually get premium cards. I can only imagine for the free-to-plays, what you guys have to go through. So, putting something in place that allows you to get more premium cards just from playing the game. I'm not saying like they should just give them out like candy, but for those who actually play the game and participate, reward them with more premium cards so they can strengthen their account, so they can actually roll the stats that they have on the crafted cards. But because you're getting one every 45 days, so they need to increase that, and they need to, I don't know, more game modes where you can actually obtain, where you could farm cards, because there aren't that many places where you can actually get cards from, right? The shield, processor with Phoenix feathers. I don't know. I feel like that's a joke. Like they should put like 5 and 6 star cards in there. I don't know. Are there 5-star cards in there? Because I've never gotten one out of there. Never gotten a 5-star out of there. But they should, re-up they should revisit the shield lab. Let's go over to the shield lab here. And speaking of which, what they need to do is, and I've said this before with awakening crystals, because I'm going to show you like the difference in awakening crystals that I have. So I have 161 crystals, and I have over 3,000 gems. So if we go over to the shield lab, now you can basically, let me collect my matter. You can basically convert like so many other materials. Yeah, I didn't want to select that. So over here, you know, you can convert, actually it's this one here, right? So if I wanted like BAM, you know, if I wanted 50 BAM, I have to give 100 CNS, you know, 70 of the matter, and then, you know, 50 feathers. So do it for crystals too. Do it for crystals, do it for tier 3 materials, maybe even books, right? You can convert, like if you need one, because we all have we've had full combat books for so long, and you know, we've had 2 speed tier 3s, and then, you know, we had how many? 4 universals back to back. And, you know, so for everything in the game, you should be able to convert. I just feel like that's pretty plain and simple, especially for the wide divide in awakening materials. That most certainly needs to be done. And let's see, what else do we got here? Oh yeah, just get rid of all 1 and 2 star cards and obelisk. I mean, this is like a no-brainer. Nobody uses 1 and 2 star cards or obelisk, and you know, a lot of players are just selling 1-star cards because, you know, the cost is greater than the benefit, than the reward that you're actually getting from them. And as a matter of fact, if they just got rid of 1 and 2 star cards, it would make card farming that much easier. And I honestly, I feel like if they just did that and did that alone, it would allow us to craft more cards. It would allow us to just, you know, yeah, farm more 6-star cards, 100%. And then same with obelisk too. Like we're long overdue for that, 100%. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, like I said, utilize the shield lab just to be able to convert all materials. A Shadowlands support shop. I mean, we've been asking this for how long now? This is way long overdue too. That's why I said this whole video and everything in it, it's long overdue for this conversation and for the devs to just make notice of this stuff and actually do something about it. So putting that support shop in, and then reworking stages 1 through 29, because it gets so redundant. It gets so redundant after a while. And speaking of redundant, being able to clear ticket story mode. So I feel like being able to, all right, now I know, you know, story mode, you know, it can be fun, you know, sometimes, but playing it every day, it's just, at this point, like for me, it's just like, it's time consuming, and like I don't, it's more of a chore than anything else. So like we can clear ticket so many other things, or we can auto play, like we can auto play Shadowland now, right? There's so many different game modes we auto play. So I don't know, either put like an auto play or a clear ticket in story mode if you've cleared it, and if you have all the required characters. I feel like if you've done all that work, right, you've made all the sacrifices, and you've done all the things in the game to actually you know, obtain all these characters, and got your account to a point where you can actually clear it, just put a clear ticket thing in place. Now, if you don't have all the required tunes, then maybe not so much. Okay, and now, I think this is really important. And I'm not the first person to make light of this. I'm not going to claim, but putting in place like a GBR legend, Giant Boss Raid legend, for one, just the game mode itself, and then put challenges in place, or even put challenges in place for GBR, we'll call it, you know, GBR that's in the game now normal, and then a GBR legend. Put challenges that actually give you good rewards, like premium cards and CTPs and Odin's Blessings, awakened ISOs, but don't make these challenges easy. You know, make them something like, you know, having to clear you know, GBR legend without like a tier 3 or awakened characters, right? Something like that. You know, having to clear with so many like level 70 characters, or having like a meter where, like, you know, you deal so much damage to the boss, and then at the end of it, you know, you make it something even outrageous, but it's something that you work towards, something that might take, I don't know, a few weeks of playing it like 10 times a day to actually get a premium card, or just like a chest that only has premium cards, or have like a chest that you can actually select, or like a token shop. A token shop, just like in Dimension Mission, that we could have one for Shadowland as well, and you can get the tokens, and then you could select what you actually need in it, just like they do right here. You can select a card. It could be like a random premium card, a random CTP, a random Odin's Blessing, a random ISO. Put that in place, and you reward the players. The players are going to be happy. Don't put these garbage systems in place that on double chance up give you a 14% chance at success, and then you have players, you have whales out here beating their head against the wall trying to get one because they want to be able to do this particular thing in the game, and you kind of need it in order to do it. So then they use 189 CTPs and walk away with 2. I think that's just absolutely insane, and they just need to get rid of all that, and just the pity. And listen, I can't stress enough the pity systems put in place in this game, because when you've done all these things and it seems like there's no end in sight, and you're just going to keep going and going, it's like you're a hamster on a wheel, and there's no destination. You have no idea when that destination is going to come, and it's just it's not fun, and it does not bring peace to your heart. It just doesn't. It makes you want to just turn tail and run. And I think the Sneaky Bandit brought light to this, but that's exactly what this guy's going to be doing. Is he's just going to be playing more casually, and I'm actually wondering if you guys would like to see possibly other games viewed on this channel, because I'm considering it. I don't have many prospects in mind at this point, but this is something that I'm going to be looking into. So I just want to know if there are a lot of you guys out there that would support something like that. All right, a couple more things here. So I know I've been going on and on about pity, but again, pity for rolling ISO 8 sets, pity for amplifying gears, getting all 5 slots, because I can't tell you how much gold that I've used just doing one slot, like 5-10 million gold, just trying to get 5 all amplified slots on one gear. And I've had a lot of other players tell me that too, that they've used millions and millions of gold amplifying gears on a character. It's crazy and disgusting. Also for uniform options, especially for like native tier 2s. And not only that, so because it's 100,000 gold, so and you could easily roll one of these options 10 times. It's $1 million gold right there. Also, the type rank enhancement, you need to put a pity on this, because how difficult it is to actually get those, to get the 6-star, and how much gold because you could rank it up, but how much gold you're actually spending, like, it's insane. Pity systems, pity. You need to do it, and you need to. Okay, so how you increased. I'm talking to you, Des. You increase the rewards for the top 100 players, or top 100 alliances in AC. Well, you need to do that you need to put those rewards just for everybody. Just make them for everybody, not just the top 100, because you're only increasing the divide and the gap. And then speaking of another game mode, ABX, those rewards need to get increased. Like you increased them like partly on AC, right? You did it for the top 100 alliance in AC. You need to have, just like you do in Timeline, like a tiered system where every player is getting some amount of crystals, right? The ones at the lower end obviously get less, but like the top, especially like the top 100 players or top 1,000 players, to incentivize players to actually play the game. Like for me, if I get over 7 million, I'm going to get the same reward as, I think, basically everybody else except the top 3. I honestly don't even know, but I'm pretty sure the rewards for, like, let's see, can we view the rewards here? Yeah, so here we go. So the top, okay, so the MVP gets 5,500 crystals, which is probably nothing to the person who's scoring first. It's probably absolutely nothing. And then rank 2 Wow, you get 100 bios and 135 experience chips. You think they need those? In what is that, 1,000,000 gold? Wow, thank you so much. Like, come on. And then and then the rewards basically, like, you get 250,000 gold if you're in the top from 11 to 50. That's ridiculous. You don't even get any bios. And then dude, they're just so sad and ridiculous. Like, how much is invested in ABX just to even place, say, in the top 100? It's insane to the amount of rewards that you actually get. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm just gonna score my 7 million, and that'll be that. If I score higher, like, you know, and I put the run in, then I score higher. But I'm not gonna be pushing like I was. I'll tell you that much. So I think there it is, guys. I probably missed some things. I probably did. So if you have other suggestions, because, you know, maybe we'll revisit this video on a often basis. I mean, you know, this channel, it is growing rather fast, and you know what? Maybe you know, it can get to a point where its voice is loud enough to actually, you know, get some eyes on the channel and maybe make some changes. You never know. So maybe we'll revisit this, you know, soon enough. So if you have other suggestions, let me know in the comments, please. All right, guys, we're gonna end it there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this you know, helps you out, helps, you know, maybe ease your mind knowing that, you know, maybe we can make some progress and make some changes in this game for the better. So until next time, you better stay tuned, you stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there now. Peace.